All right, guys.
Yo,
Welcome.
everybody. Oh, yeah.
Okay. Yeah. No. You got it.
You did it last time, bro. No. Okay. Guys, episode 14 of Columbus DJ Podcast. This is about as serious as it's going to get. It's going to get wild here. So glad you're here. I'm here with my co-host, DJ Corrupt. What's happening?
What's going on, man? It's good to be back.
Mm-hmm.
You guys feeling good? You in good health?
Yeah, man. I'm feeling good.
It's awesome.
All things considered.
Your microphone. We got a lot of DJ talent and experience in this podcast. Every episode has been different, so we appreciate you guys, Matt and Aaron, for joining us.
Word.
Welcome.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah, for sure, man. So, look,
it's about to go down.
It had to happen, right, Mike?
It had to happen. We had to do it eventually. We tried to get
Masha. It was gonna happen one way or another. That's all.
We tried to get Masha, but she's a little busy right now, so we figured, okay, well, I can't ask Masha, then not ask.
We'll get Masha though, right? She'll do this.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. So before we get to official introductions, I want everybody to know that these two guys, they taught me a lot. I don't know about you, Mike, but
absolutely,
I got started in the whole entire industry because of these guys, going and watching them and shadowing them and picking their brains and annoying them and taking criticism. But it was great, and I really appreciate it. And every time I've done interviews, other podcasts, any kind of like press, I like to shout you guys out. I don't know if you've ever noticed it. I always, but I've always tried to give you guys where credit is due. And I have a lot of specific stories I remember where I felt growth, and we can get into that. But let's do some introductions. We'll start with you, Matt, Majik. So if you can just tell everybody just, how long you've been DJing, where you got started, and what your style is, what people can expect when they come to see you play.
So I got introduced to DJing actually when I was about 10 or 11 from my late father. He was a disc jockey, but didn't mix, but actually did about 50% on vinyl. So I learned on vinyl, and he understood BPMs and all that, but again, didn't mix. But I learned equipment and basically learned how to do basic playing music. So that kind of started it. And then it was when I was 13 and I got a Bad Boy bill. I think it was Bang in the Box, Volume 2 or 3, and a Humpty Vision and the Bad Boy Bill House Connection. I listened to those for the first time when I got into electronic music, and that's when I was like, I want to DJ like that. So got my first set of records when I was 14, annoyed my mother at home and my family until about 16, and then started playing some house parties for friends, hung out with people older than me, got into the underground rave scene, started going to parties and stuff. Eventually you meet promoters or meet people that'll put you on, play for free for a bunch of stuff, obviously, and work your way up. I think my first paid gig, I made $30. I was 16. It was a warehouse party. I played 8 to 9 or something like that for maybe 15 people. And you just start from there, man. A promoter will like you somewhere else, put you on a better show, and next thing you know, you work your way up and you can open up for some artists and stuff. And now I play what? Mike, did it not say on there, take 5 or 10 minutes? I've been talking for what, maybe 2 minutes?
Yeah, man.
No, it's just,
I was thinking to myself, damn. I'm trying to make it quick.
This is good. This is what we want.
This is good. Damn, I should have read that text in that Google Doc. Well, follow my lead, dude. No, I know. Don't worry. It's easy. You told this story a million freaking times.
Mike, this is amazing. This is what we signed up for.
It took 2.5 minutes for it to follow.
All right, guys. So look.
Really good 2.5 minutes, though.
But, so I can't imagine how many different styles and types of shows that you've played, Matt. Starting at 16 is something that I think, if we could all go back and do that we would do that, because that is
cool, man, and it was a cool era for DJing. All the DJs played vinyl, and you know what I mean. The DJs that really stood out are the ones that went and dug for records at a record store on Sunday or whenever the record store digging day was, for 3 to 5 hours. Find that one gem, You know, nowadays everything's digital. Everybody, you know, got a lot of the same stuff. You know, you almost got to outskirt to like SoundCloud and stuff, and try and find stuff that maybe nobody else would have to DJ like you would back then. But yeah, man.
I think it's incredible because, you know, even me, I've been DJing for a while, but not nearly as long as you. So when I started, the Scratch Live was around already, right? So it's just interesting to hear you talk about how all the DJs, obviously you guys had crates of vinyl, but that you would just hang out at the vinyl shop, and you could probably just go in there.
That was the best part though, man. That was DJ culture, you know, that you guys didn't really get the experience, you know what I mean?
Right. James, it's going to say it's because I love you. I wouldn't call it a vinyl shop.
It also just
the record store would probably be a little bit better.
I mean, there were times it sucked, man, when you had to carry crates of records, and like you wanted a cue point, you took a piece of tape and stuck it on your vinyl to find that part with the needle. You know, nowadays you push a button, so just shows how far technology has come. I mean, if you looked at one of Bombay's record sets, dude, every vinyl looked like it had pieces of duct tape all around and white tape, like it was the goofiest thing.
Dude, we love it.
You just find these spots. It was unreal.
We love Bombay. We had him on here, and ever since then I've been paying attention to all his videos he's been posting on Instagram. It's great.
Dope, man.
But shout out to Ginsu.
The guy's an alien. Hey, he's an alien. He's a freak of nature.
He really is.
All right, Aaron, your turn, buddy. Lay it on us, man.
I don't know. Jump in, bro.
Pretty much everything Matt said. I started spinning in 2000, going to a place called Lowe, listening to the same kind of music, but not knowing it. Listening to like Corey, Kid Chaos, and DJ Quantum. And
Aaron and I listened and went to all the same place, and probably crossed paths, but we didn't meet till like much later in both our DJ careers.
Yeah. And I had some acoustic drums, and I traded them in for this shitty Newmark battle pack.
Yep, I had the same thing.
They were like
belt drive. Did you have belt drive? You had at least the direct drive. I had belt drive, man. Those were awful.
Even trade at Sam Ash. They ripped me the fuck off. But it came with speakers, even like this Newmark, double pack record.
Yeah. No, it came with a Newmark battle record and two. Like I got the cheap pack, man.
I had speakers, headphones,
the crappy Newmark headphones.
It was all bad, but it worked.
It came with this little powered Newmark speaker that was like this big. It sounded like two of them. It sounded like shit, but it worked. But it worked.
Yeah.
What's up, Eric? So you talk about Quantum. I got to see Quantum play when I first started. That's interesting that you said that you guys would go to see him play. So he was already in the game for a while when you guys started.
He had
That's awesome.
Pulse mixtapes that I would listen to.
Ritual. I still have some of those. I just was going through old CDs and found a Quantum Ritual from back during Pulse days.
He was doing
Ritual Saturdays.
He worked the record store.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, cool. He was a good dude. He was always on CDJs by the time I saw him, and
Sean.
He had all the CDs.
I think Sean sold me my first set of records, man, when I was like about 16.
Nice.
15. No, about 15.
So you guys eventually started playing together for a while, and you guys started doing like duo gigs. How did that work? Like, how did you guys come together? How did you guys come together?
Explain this.
And then how did you make it work? Like, how did it go out throughout the night? You guys just switch on and off? Like, I remember you telling me a long time ago, but
you write this down? I'm joking.
You played with us, James. You know
how it works. But if you really want to know, I met this dude.
How'd you guys meet?
And Austin was spinning, and I'd come up and spin with him and drink for free, and that's usually how most people start. From there, I was DJing at this place in the Brewery District. I had these Technique CD players, and Matt, who looked actually very similar to how he does right now. I had a beard. Came up and introduced himself to me. Yeah, CBR.
So go figure. Aaron was the only person anyone had ever seen with these Technique CD players that looked like Silver Techniques turntables, and everyone's just like,
"What's up, Bryson?
Who's this fucking guy? What's that?" You know, like literally, like seeing a UFO. All of us are going around and like,
I worked
"What's
so hard
this?"
for this thing.
And that's the night we met. That I met Aaron. I met Karina the same
Mike,
night.
you're muted. Or I
Oh, that's cool.
Oh,
My mom just joined. Mom, we got Duct Tape and Magic. You know them.
Your mom, well, hey.
Yeah.
What's up? What's up?
What's up, Bryson? Okay, so I do remember you guys playing gigs, and I remember how it worked out. Like you guys basically would switch off if one of you guys
want
were.
me to? I'm still going. I'm still going.
Okay, cool.
I'm almost done now. So then we became friends. It's all separate from there. Then a bar wanted to have a DJ competition, and they wanted us to host it. And they wanted the winner to, get their gig there. Silly. And
Wait, where? What?
that was Kickstand. If you're
Yeah.
Try not to name names.
I remember.
All good people. Anyways, and after starting to initiate this, they kind of were like, screw it. You guys just want to DJ here, and we won't even do this. We're like, yeah, sure.
No, we DJ'd at Karma before that, man. Right when I met you, I had the residency at Karma, which was Red Zone.
All right, you're right.
And Aaron we met, and then Aaron started coming and playing with me.
But that's
and then
that's not like paid. James, correct me if I'm wrong. You meant like professionally, right?
I mean, paying you?
It's one thing for me to come spin with you for fun. It's another thing to spin together professionally.
Yeah, the most of what I remember, it was at legit venues, and usually one of you guys would be like, "I'm about to go back on. Duct Tape's drunk," or vice versa.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
That's kind of basically what it became. All right, another night of have to DJ, triple the drunk, and have to pay.
Mike, I know you have some questions, but I got one more. So
yeah, go for it, man.
So when I first met you guys, the industry was completely different, obviously, right? Like the music industry was different, and the club scene was different. Like Arena District, Park Street was booming. I don't even know what was going on campus because there was so many good veteran DJs going on at Spice and over there at Mint and everywhere. So and it seemed like there was a lot of good gigs available and not as many DJs. It seems like there's freaking 200 DJs and younger DJs now. But talk about how was it difficult, or did you welcome the evolution of the Columbus DJ scene? Because you guys were already very established, and then it just kept evolving and changing. How do you guys feel about that? And did you welcome it?
Oh, go ahead.
It's like in this industry, while new technologies do disrupt it, change usually happens slowly. So I feel like how music rolls. While you're in the moment, it doesn't seem so fast. But if you look back at let's say music in the past 10 years, and it seems so fast, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I don't think you notice it. You do notice faces, new people pop up in our eyes, and you guys both know how that can make you feel on either side of the fence, right? Because that's how most of us all became friends at the same time as, we're competition. But I think that you don't really notice it as it's happening. You ask, how do we feel, as it's happened? I don't think I've noticed it so much,
I just roll with the punches, man, because Aaron and I have seen the scene change a lot, many times now, man, really. Yeah. With the music, where I got my start, the underground.
That's what I feel is most.
The underground electronic dance music scene was super underground. Most of the parties weren't even legal, to do. And now it's completely flip-flopped, and EDM is so commercial, and the festivals, you know what I mean? Festivals are the modernized raves. You don't see an actual warehouse party anymore or whatever, where some promoter and their team might literally went into some warehouse with a bunch of generators and just set it up. I played at a party like that where the cops came in and raided it. The DJs are scrambling to get their records, and party kids, you know what I mean, out of their gourds, just running all different directions, chaos.
For me, I feel like it's the music and the technology that's changed the most.
Oh, yeah.
Especially genres of music or styles of rap, you know what I mean? It's pretty wild.
Right. It seems like it's still doing that
90s,
too, right? Like
2010.
every 2 months, it seems like everybody wants something else. Attention spans are so short. But yeah, I definitely met you guys. I discovered you guys before EDM peaked, for sure.
Yeah. That was like 20.
It was kind of like, it was
like 2011, 2012. You know,
Mhm.
It's kind of weird.
Yeah.
All right, Mike, I'll let you take over a little bit.
Yeah, man. I have a few questions for these guys. I want to know, like, duct tape and Majik. Like, what's like a highlight moment? Like, you guys are talking about, you've done all these shows here, there, the other place. I want to know, like, when you guys like think about like duct tape and Majik, what's like the highlight of like your guys' like team camaraderie and teamwork together?
You want me to answer that, Matt? Because I would agree. Like, I would say that every place that you've done or every time that you've worked has a highlight. Yeah. We had some really sweet times. You know, one of my favorite places is Boma, right? And then, you know, there was also some really crappy times with Boma. You know what I mean? Same goes for, you know, I opened up, or we worked at Mosaic, you know, Mosaic, you know, had its struggles, and the same goes for like Diesel and little places we've done here and there as well, you know, like,
is there a specific
feel like, you know, brothers,
you guys remember?
What?
Is there a specific show that you guys remember where like you guys looked at each other at the end of the night, like that was incredible?
Volume 1.
Wow, I can't believe you remember that.
Yeah, we got
video and stuff from that, man.
Wait, are you guys being serious at all? There's no way.
Yes.
Yeah. You
want the footage?
No, I'm saying that was the highlight of you guys' like working together. There's no way.
Why not?
All right, you keep asking the question, James.
Blow your horn a little bit there, Mike.
Yeah, come on.
To give you guys an idea.
I had a great time at your party, bro. I'm not lying at all. I had a blast at your party.
Wow. All right. Well, I thought these guys were trolling me based on how I party that.
Everyone had a blast, dude.
Mike, you've thrown some good parties, bro.
It wasn't even like the crazy. You didn't have like the biggest, craziest wall-to-wall crowd, but the crowd that you had there, man, had like awesome energy. Like,
I'm not going to mention a certain friend of ours giving a certain other friend of ours' mom a lap dance on stage.
Wow, I forgot about that.
Mike, you were just expecting him to say some like really old gig they had a long time ago.
Right? I mean, how are you guys not going to talk about like when you guys went down to Orlando? Like that's what I'm trying to pull out of you. Like wasn't that crazy? You guys got to go down.
Orlando was more like better for, not as if the DJing was bad, but we made other memories in Orlando.
Yeah.
No. But yeah, we stopped by Pet Cemetery, took weird pictures, you know, like it was a vacation as well. You know what I mean?
We made that a vacation.
Yeah.
Well,
you know, like we
went to that white sand beach in Sarasota.
Met up with Danielle and
Danielle and Donnie. Yeah.
Man, that warms my heart that the show I threw was one of you guys' best moments together.
Boom.
I mean, bro, I've got a best.
Dude, I still got like a if you go on one of my main DJ pictures, there's a shot from that with the cryo and all that, man. Yeah,
that's awesome.
It was a fun. It was a good time, man. I had a great time. We're not trolling you.
It feels like you're trolling a little bit.
We're not. No. Dude,
you guys have opened for some bigger names, though, right? Like,
Mike, why are you so paranoid, Mike?
Mike, but you're missing the message. The key message is that these moments that you're asking for can happen anywhere. They could happen at Spoons, you know.
Yeah, I could think of a billion, man. Honestly, in my and DJ.
You're feeling good. The crowd's feeling good.
Yeah.
Maybe busy, maybe not.
You guys know. There's nights, man, when you're DJing and you got the crowd by the balls. Man.
Absolutely.
It's like.
Could be,
you know what I mean? You're like, oh, I got this, you know? Like, I can think of a billion times where I had, was doing a good show and people were having a good time, man.
Name some of the guys that you've opened. You've done some shows, though.
No, it's okay. I know.
Very descriptive answer, like the fog was laying.
Yeah.
Intense.
One of my favorite moments is when me and Duct Tape invented the trash can at Karma.
No, that was at Mosaic.
No, was
that a drink?
Sure.
Dude, at Karma, yeah, dude.
I must not.
Yeah, it's a drink with literally just
losing your memory.
Every single thing in it was some blue carousel and some peach schnapps and a Red Bull on the top, and you just upside down, and you leave it in there, let the Red Bull, go out of it, and it looks like a trash can. and it got you really shit-faced.
Well, I'm gonna hop over to some general questions. B-Funk asked us on the podcast or off air about DJ edits and what goes into like the ideas for DJ edits. Duct Tape, you've had stuff on Cracked for DJs. Krupp, you're making edits all the time. Majik, I'm sure you've made some in the past. But B-Funk wants to know, and maybe our listeners wants to know, like what goes into like the idea of an edit. How do you use them? And Matt, actually, we'll go to Duct Tape first.
For me, it all comes with like a need for something, right? So you might need something specific done. It depends on what like kind of editing you're talking about too, you know, like mashups versus like what if I just needed an intro to some song or I wanted to shorten a song hook first. Please don't shorten the song down.
You know what I mean? If you just need a hook,
just play less of it. I know.
I just buy them off DMS. Super short, extra short, course only.
But anyways, yeah, I mean, it starts with, I think, the basic need, or it could even be like the desire. If you just want to get, you know, down and make something, that's totally part of it too, you know.
And then you've had two massive remixes that I've played over and over. Big Ol' Bounce is the one that everyone,
Big Ol' Bounce.
Everyone plays Big Ol' Bounce.
It still hits. We all
love to take a picture of it on our phone and send it to Aaron. Like, look what we're playing.
I'm afraid to play that song, man.
Why?
Let it ride, baby.
The other one I always play was the Intergalactic. Oh my God! Run It. Yeah.
I play that every night.
It's gotten corrupted. I've asked Duct Tape twice now to send me a new file. No, you didn't. But it's cool. It's good. It's a great remix. I would love to have another copy.
Hey, just let me know. I'll send it to you.
But James, what goes into like your mind when you're like getting ready to make an edit?
I mean, like they said, it's about what type of edit it is first and foremost. A lot of short edits can work if you have an idea or the way you present your sets. You trying to improve your set flow. A lot of DJs start with short edits. It's easier to do. It's quick to do. It's important. But then there's a lot of edits that you can make that get creative with some bootlegs and some mashups. You know, it's different now. I feel like bootlegs and mashups can still work, but there was a time where it was huge, right? So there was a lot more in Crack for DJs and what he was on and Kirkland Clan and that. They really went hard on the bootlegs for years and they were working. And now it's like, you know, a lot of people just want the original song and like Matt said, sometimes they want the whole song. So edits, like they said, is something that you need. Now there's been edit packs that I've made before where I've made some edits that I don't use a lot. You know what I mean? So, but it's good to have them. Absolutely. If you're really good at making edits and you can bust them out, have them in your arsenal. It's great.
James, may I counterpoint?
Yep.
DJ Flair's watching. Shout out to Adam. He sent me a nice picture.
Oh yeah, he's been on here.
Easy bag. I fell down the short edit rabbit hole in 2015. I'm like super against them now. I think that, you should challenge yourself to try and sometimes it's just not possible, but just use cue points and whatnot to jump around. But I've been busted.
Yeah, if you can't put a cue point.
No. Like, I've just been busted too many times. Somebody wanting to hear something or somebody wanting to hear more of something, and shit, it's about.
Well,
yeah.
What about
sucker's about to run out?
What about the abilities of short edits though? There's more than it just playing a short version of a song. There's having drums or acapella outs and stuff like that.
I guess I'm looking at that differently.
But no, you're right. Like people making cue points and playing full tracks as short tracks should be you should be able to do that before you go into editing.
Actually.
I got sick of having 5 versions of the song. Looking at it like, oh,
you're searching your database and all this shit comes up.
15 things come up like, oh, well.
But yeah, like
you got a little ADD and OCD. You're like, oh, which one do I pick? Which one do I play?
I got 20 seconds.
All those tools you mentioned.
3 seconds.
James, all those tools you mentioned are really important. I'm a firm believer in acapella outs, and no matter what the length, because that's obviously going to be special, right? And you know, hooks first. I really like the chorus first. You know.
Chorus first edits for
some songs. That's the only edits I'll make for myself anymore. Really, it's the hook first.
Yeah. I like the chorus first.
Cut out the calm part, you know. But I'm trying to challenge myself to cue points more, and the real challenge is remembering them. You know.
Right.
Setting them's easy. Remembering them's hard.
You can actually in Serato double click the where the timing is, and then you could like write in, you know, chorus, you know, verse, breakdown. I've done that for a lot of tracks.
Yeah,
that's a good idea.
I've been
Majik.
I've been on MPC lately. Speaking of, you guys want to buy an MPC?
Why are you always trying to sell stuff? DUCTAPE'S always
like, save it for the show and tell.
Did Aaron just seriously get on our podcast and start selling stuff?
Hey, I got a comment here from Ginsu. Ginsu says Matt Majik will play your iPhone requests. Is this true?
Is it?
Ginsu said that. Hey everyone, Matt Majik will play your iPhone requests.
I don't know what that means.
That means you take requests. Somebody's over here like, hey, play this.
Oh, if someone puts a phone in my face, I just look at it, but I don't really look at it. Like, come up and talk to me at least. If I'm gonna be bombarded and you know, stop and interrupted.
Dude, the best is when
me and don't do this to me, like.
Right, but it's even worse when it's like somebody's yelling and you have the monitors and they're at a pretty good distance still and they're just yelling like it's play this
right now, isn't it?
Nah, dude, I'm all about I'm the only DJ in the world who likes having the phone shoved in my face because like Krupp's saying, the monitors are going, like they're drunk, I can't hear them. Half the time they don't even know the artist and the song title, so they end up saying, hey, can you play Twerk? And I'm like, which one?
Yeah, but what if you're just having one of those nights where you're just not about to take the request? You just go like this. You just, okay, yeah, fine.
I mean,
that's what I do. I'm like, I usually count on them not coming back and being drunk and just forgetting about it. And 8 out of 10 times it happens.
Then you find them at your car at the end of the night, like you didn't pay my
song, man.
Shout out to Masha's watching. Duct Tape, you better be on your best behavior.
That's hilarious because Masha has to do with my next question. Majik, while I'm asking Duct Tape this question, if you could go find something in his house to do a magic trick with, that would be fantastic. We'll wait a couple minutes.
Yes.
Duct Tape, you have the honor of being married now to a very talented DJ. So what's it like living and sharing your life with another DJ? What's that like?
I mean, it's fun. It's challenging. She's probably listening, making a face right now. Yeah, it's nice because you've always got someone, if you want to, cut with, you can, go upstairs and cut. And like, if you're dating somebody that's not into it, they might be annoyed if you're up in that room. But, at the same time, life takes over and, we're not always upstairs practicing. It is fun that Masha is interested. Well, it's true. Unless you learn, you don't practice.
If you guys are like me, you constantly picture Aaron and Masha standing next to each other, like playing a love song and going back and forth.
They did that at the wedding, though. They did
like they do at the wedding. Yeah, that's how I constantly picture Aaron and Masha when I'm not here, if I'm not around.
But when you guys were first dating, you guys were both, probably teaching each other a lot of things, right?
Real quick, what Ginsu meant, which is funny. Yeah, I get it. We should just said phone, man. Then I would have
MP3 player.
Yeah. No,
Oh, I
I
see.
am notorious if there's literally no one there and nobody gives a crap and someone's bugging the crap out of me. I'll plug their phone in and play with it, play their song or their mix. I had a guy that came up once and what Ginsy's talking about, it was at Decento, and it was literally, there was literally like maybe 10 people in there who couldn't care less what was playing. This guy's like, dude, you play my Girl Talk mix, and Girl Talk's sweet, you know what I mean? So I'm like, all right, whatever. You know, I asked the manager, I was like, can I play this guy's mix off his iPhone? Ginsy's like, are you really going to play that guy's mix? And I was like, yeah, why not? Plugged it in and played it. Why not? And it was Girl Talk, so.
Did you lose the 9 people you had in there?
No, they stayed, man.
There you go.
I even had someone come up, and it's so funny. It happens almost every time I'm playing. Well, not every time, but it happens a lot when I'm playing a mixtape. They're like, dude, the mix is sweet tonight. You're doing a good job. I'm like, no problem, man.
You should get this iPhone and do it. It's awesome.
Yeah, got this,
That's cool.
bro.
All right,
Here's
Mike,
my
go
card,
ahead.
man. I go by Girl Talk.
So,
So anyway,
getting cards.
Magic, did you grab some cards or something, man?
I don't live here, man.
There's
I can't. I'm trying to think of what I would
You
even
gotta-
do. Like,
you had the notes for the podcast. You have to have at least juggle.
I'll hype him up a little bit.
what am I gonna do with those?
I'll hype him up a little
We
bit.
got a really good magician here, everybody.
Why it's not gonna work?
First magician on our Columbus DJ podcast.
It'll still.
While they're grabbing that, all I'll say is that
Throw us some likes if you guys want Matt to do a magic trick.
He doesn't have no cards, man.
well, listen,
I've seen you do some magic with some random stuff. Come on.
I got a coin.
You got some apples.
I'll tell the story. So I asked Matt Magic how he got his name
Ready, guys?
while he was at my dorm.
Okay, hold on.
Oh
Ready?
man.
1, ready, watch. 2, 3.
Matt,
Listen, why did I still think that was really cool, even though you probably... Why? It literally just vanished out of your hand. That's awesome. Dude, Matt, Duct Tape's going to be pissed when he finds out his lemons are just disappearing in thin air.
I'm pretty sure these are from when I lived with you, James,
Okay.
and they've only been used for Matt to do magic.
I don't really know what I'm gonna do.
Okay. What we got here? Oh, we got cards. Okay.
We'll do it.
We'll give him a minute. Oh, you ready? Okay.
I'll just do it.
Here.
If you see it, I'll just do it for
Okay.
you. All right?
Seven of clubs.
don't talk, James, because I got to see it.
Ugh. There we go.
Wait.
Ta-da!
Hold on.
Is that my card?
Well, it's hard. It's hard because I can't see what you guys are seeing.
Okay.
Okay, ready?
Yep. Okay. He's making
There.
the cards disappear or change.
Change.
I get it. It's impressive.
I don't really know what else I can do, man. Everything I do, I'm like using a.
All of a sudden, that lemon's under your hat, right?
Yeah. Here, pick a card, James. Got one?
It'd be some crazy shit if I just end. Whoa!
We should have pre-planned that.
We really should have.
Grab that Google Doc.
Oh yeah.
Are you satisfied, Mike? I like
I'm
it.
satisfied.
We got a couple tricks there.
I'm satisfied. I want to talk to you guys about some nerdy stuff. You guys have produced one of my favorite mixtapes by any DJ. These Are the Breaks. I just want to know what went into that mixtape, talk about it, and I imagine it's one of your guys' favorites too. So just tell people, what it is, how it came about, and why it's so good.
It's really actually not a cool story at all.
None of those stories are
Aaron
cool.
downloaded all these dope electro breaks tracks, and we're just listening to it at his house one day, like, damn, that's fat, that's sweet. Like every song, it's like, let's make a mixtape.
Yeah.
That's what we did.
They all went together really
And they
well.
all went together, like those tracks were like meant to yeah.
And it's like
We
super
even,
simple. It's like when one song breaks, the other song started, for the most part.
We did some long mixes.
Yeah, that's what I mean though.
Like
So
we did like there's several like probably minute and a half mixes in there. Like the songs were like perfect. We even got out a bunch of my old vinyl I had a bunch of breaks vinyls.
Go for the end, yeah.
We put some played like actual records on that mixtape because I had some sweet breaks
from a friend named Timmy who.
No, I have a whole huge crate. I loved breaks at one time, but no, like that was one of those. It was like drum and bass breaks, jungle, like any of that stuff, whatever. Like there was always a small room at a party playing that stuff.
Yeah. So
you guys had cuts on it too, right? Some solid cuts, if I remember.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we did a bunch of cuts.
You guys have ever put together?
It's easy with Pro Tools.
Wow. Did you quantize your cuts?
The first time, do it again.
What? Yeah, oh man, they killed it on that.
It's brutal sometimes. Oh, it's brutal making it the correct way anyway. But
like multiple takes.
Yeah, just like whenever you're just not happy with the mix, start over.
Hashtag Ableton. James, why don't you take us into show and tell, man?
All right, sure. So it's a little fun segment we do, non-DJ related show and tell. You guys are at Aaron's house, but grab something that's significant to you and just tell us a little bit about it. Something that, you got a flyer in the background. You got, something that means a lot to you. This is your house, Aaron, so I know you have to have something good in there. So
you could show me
Matt's gonna wing it.
Aaron, show them the techniques you redid, the one that Majik was talking about earlier in the episode.
Is that what you want?
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, man, you were talking about it earlier. You spent time.
Go get it. Gotta get up.
That's the funny thing. When we met, this is the CD player he was playing on, and it was I forgot to tell you how awful that thing was. It was bad. It had such bad lag. It was like it was so hard to scratch or do anything on it, But it was a Techniques CD player, the only one they ever made. But yeah, Aaron, you got to show him your mod.
Yeah, bring that.
There we go.
Yeah, give me one.
Man, you guys got assistants?
Oh shit.
Oh yeah, come on. When you get a wife,
I'll bring a CD player. I'll bring a CD player.
Come on. Just hand it to me. I was going to punish you and go get my MPC and put it in front of you and discuss it. But
with the price tag on it?
Definitely for show and tell.
What do we got here? A photo?
It's a baby.
Yep, there it is. The best DJ in Columbus.
Boom! Amazing!
So yeah, I got that.
Congratulations, man.
Matt, you can take it out of the case, Matt. Thank you, James.
That is a great show and tell right there.
I've come a long way since 390 and a half Linwood Avenue.
Dude, Linwood Avenue was some tough times, brother. Oh, man, me and Rusty talk about Linwood Avenue all the time, man. Yeah, legend.
Hey, Duct Tape, tell us about how that picture came about.
What?
Tell us about how that picture came about. Describe the process of, how that picture
Matt, or Mike.
We'll talk about the birds and the bees.
I know they got
all right, listen, dude.
So is this what you want to hear about? A long time ago, it was when CDJs became nice, and Techniques made a CD player to compete with it, and I literally had no direction, and I don't know. I never really got good advice when I asked people. It's not like they ever
paid the same price as a CDJ.
Yeah. It was either Pioneers or these Techniques, and they appealed to me, and I bought them, and they worked, but they're kind of pieces of shit. Pardon my language.
They've been with you for a hot minute.
Before I knew Aaron, and I'm walking up like, oh yeah, I want to try that thing. Whatever. And I get it, I'm like trying to cut. I'm like, Aaron. I'm like, yeah, this thing sucks.
So then,
it was the original.
But it was good to meet you.
So put that on the camera better. So yeah. Okay.
So yeah, this thing is dope. This thing is badass now.
So I sold one to my friend Brian, and then I kept the other one just in a case all these years. And then fast forward to a few years ago, I saw this guy out of the UK was modifying them, and you would send yours to him, and he would modify it like this, and there was a screen right here that was gone. It really is pointless unless you see the original picture. But he would modify it. The screen would be
it was a digital screen here with a bunch of buttons, and then this plastic silver.
So this guy made these things. You would send him your CD player, and he would modify it. Well, a few years after that, I noticed that he was just selling this like spindle. And basically the process was that I took off the screen and did a few other things that aren't important, but that were obviously important. And I installed just this spindle and this bracket. So before there was a screen right here, and then attached to this slippy disc was a silver slip disc.
Right.
And then this platter also moved. So the platter moved, but this top could spin. And so, yeah, I took out the screen, and for $120, he emailed me these 2 half-ass made spindles.
That's all it is that?
Yeah, that's literally, I mean, there was more to it than that. I had the sensor that reads the disc stuck up because the screen stuck up. So I paid Able Audio some money to do some soldering, and I shaved off the top to make it level.
Dude, that's amazing.
I got in there. There's like a way to like clean them up. Oh yeah, you have to remove these pins.
I know Mike likes this.
Disassemble it quite a bit. But yeah, literally, it's just,
I lived all. What he's talking about right now, I lived it. I lived it, dog.
What do you mean, like when I brought him over to your house?
Yeah, no, I was here through the whole process because
okay.
I think the whole reason Aaron did it is because I got the Range 12s, and he's like, "Those are stupid. Watch this." And then he spent $125 in like 8 months.
I agree with you.
But dude, every time he'd take a step in the process, he'd be like, "Yo, Mike, it's almost ready."
You know what though? Like back when Aaron and I used to trash this thing, like Aaron, we've actually said, man, it would be way cooler if it was like an actual.
Oh yeah, this dude did.
Actually, it was when those Newmark 7s or whatever.
Yeah.
Got those separate.
The V7s.
Are they meaningful? No, but.
No, these are sweet, man. They're bad.
Yeah,
I agree. I was pretty proud of Aaron when he finished them because I didn't think he was going to finish with
I bought my original one that I sold to my friend back from my friend.
Make another one?
Like, are you kidding me? I've got a bunch of other ones. Yeah, there's a whole community on Facebook for people about this that I joined. It was
it's
all
a whole community.
No, you know how it is, like the Columbus little DJ page. Yeah.
Aaron, do you have a cool little studio still set up like we did on Linwood, or?
I have a mega studio that doesn't get used.
It's about to be the nursery.
Yeah. Right now, I think the MPC's got to go.
Yeah.
Well, dude, congratulations, man. That's amazing.
So, thank you. Yeah, no, I've been working from home and working in it. We're doing floors, so it's like put away, which is why we're in the kitchen. But I mean, it's the same old. It's a desk and a computer and the MPC and so, DJ stuff.
So what else are you selling? And how much you selling that little the Technique CD player for?
Hell no, you got to make them yourself.
I'm not buying it.
Those. The problem is inside the screen were the track forward and rewind buttons and the looping buttons. So you lost that. So that also has some cue points. So you just set a cue point at the beginning, but you have to remember to hit that cue point. It's weird. They don't always fall back into internal mode. Sometimes they just stop on me. But if you just, hit the cue point, it starts again. So a little finicky. I'd like to start using them, but obviously, I mean, things aren't. Yeah.
Hey, and while Magic's not here, you may want to change your name. It's inappropriate.
Matt, why would you do that? I'll leave that.
Oh shit, dude!
I still have tracks in my crates and stuff, where Aaron's written.
Oh yeah,
talking shit about me there, where he's changed it in my computer when I wasn't around.
Did you just kept them?
Yeah, on Boom Boom Pow. Aaron wrote in big letters, "Matt, stop playing Boom Boom Pow."
Yeah, tell Mike G that. That was Mike G's song, dude.
You remember?
Hey man, play the hits. Hit him with that Boom Boom Pow.
Oh, gosh, followed up by a Sambuca shot.
I did a New Year's at an unnamed place where the manager was like, what do you got for the, the ball drop? And I got this, pre-done thing. And I'm like, yeah. you know, and I play it for him, and he's like, man, I don't like that. Can you play Diamonds by Rihanna?
Oh my gosh, hell no.
And when's the last? That might not even be on my computer anymore. I don't think that's on my computer anymore.
Dude, it's a tough song to play for dancing and.
Yeah.
Anyways.
Yeah. But yeah, no, that's those ball drops. It's funny because the DJs spend a lot of time making like a good ball drop edit or finding one or mashing them up, and then
you threw that out.
you just have some random guy. Actually, no, let's just run with Diamonds, Rihanna. It's like
I made it happen.
Nah, man,
good.
I need some diamonds.
All right, Mike, what do you got for us?
All right, you guys were teasing me earlier because I wrote, believe it or not, you might learn something from these two, but I think you will learn something from these two. They have a ton of experience in the game, super talented.
Might learn something.
What are your tips for listeners, guys? Like, and the way I like to do this is like make it something that they haven't heard before. I know you guys haven't watched too much of the podcast, but we have people kind of share tips. You guys are episode 14.
I've watched some of your I've watched some of them.
Which
Not
one
the
did you
whole
watch?
thing, but I've watched some of them.
Which who was on it?
I've watched the one with Ginsu and Nick. I watched the one with Austin, and who was with Austin? It was who's with Austin?
Yeah, it was Oz
Right,
10.
I'll give it to him. He knows some names. He just went down the list of like his favorite DJs. I'm kidding.
Right,
But yeah, we try to get
a little bit of Chang's and Whit Taylor's the last one he did.
I was pretty proud of that one actually.
But Mike gets critical on this topic.
The house guys, Fear and
Fear and Lowe. That was our first one.
All right. Well, Magic's watched enough for both you and Duct Tape.
Yeah,
That's good. All right. I appreciate that, Magic.
Cat doing, bro?
Like I said, I haven't listened to any of them straight through, but I've listened to good parts, man.
That's all we ask for, bro. As long as you're tuning in. But yeah, what's your tips for listeners? What's gonna help younger DJs and maybe even older DJs, like something that maybe they haven't heard before?
Aaron.
I mean, gosh, I don't even know what I would say. All I can really say, I don't want to say this is a tip for someone else because what works for you might not work for someone else. But what really worked for me is learning how to do things without the assistance of technology. And I think technology is great, but it makes using the technology 10 times easier. Sometimes it depends on what we're talking about. Are we just talking about DJing? Because sometimes I feel like, at least for me, technology can't be avoided when it comes to like Ableton or
I don't know. What are you specifically?
Well, yeah. I think Aaron, you might be talking about beat matching. One is very important to learn without just
you name it, like beat matching, how songs are structured. That's another one. Understanding gain stages, all that's encompassing of DJing. Yeah, reading a crowd.
You know what, Aaron? I don't think we've had someone talk about gain staging before, and I think that's really important. Why don't you elaborate on gain staging?
Gain staging. Throughout your signal, right, that you send to the house sound system, there are various volume knobs, and those are called the gain stage.
Frequencies.
I got to do this for work. It's like that. Each volume knob is like a stage in your gain path, or you know what I mean.
Yes, I do, but
a lot of DJs don't though. Aaron, that's the thing.
It's hard when you can't illustrate something.
Right.
But so every volume knob is a gain stage, and every volume knob has to be set based off of another. That's one way to put it. You don't want anything too loud, and
dude, preach.
Troubleshooting's a whole nother one. Troubleshooting's a good one. Just learning it without technology. All that stuff requires you to think. Beat matching requires you to listen and think and react, right? And that's all it is
I like that one, Mike.
Mike and James, you know, and what have we both told you guys when we first met you? Like, are you listening with your headphones or are you watching?
Right. Oh, dude, one of the most humbling experiences was when I lived with Aaron, and I don't know if it was you or Aaron. I think it was Aaron, but you guys handed me these two raw vinyl
records and made you mix them.
Well, no, you guys made it really difficult. Okay,
probably got them.
You guys, first of all, you put they were break beats, and then you you purposely messed up the BPMs where I had to readjust and I had no shot. But you know what?
Oh yeah, you mean the tempo? Yeah, we like.
Yeah, but you know what? I could do that now, and knowing that, that's good that you guys were hard on me like that. And
like
that's
I've always said, man. You know, the grid, you can rely on technology, but your ears never lie to you.
And like, I think you never.
I must have sat on that turntable for like 20 minutes, just and you guys are just laughing your asses off. I'm like, anyway.
And you learn how to do it.
James likes dicks.
His mom's watching.
Oh yeah.
No, she's not. Even if she is, she's probably laughing at me anyway. So go ahead.
Cool.
Yeah.
So like it was like, oh yeah, so if you learn how to beat match, it just makes it easier on you. And I get it if you want to use sync, and people will say that it allows me to do other things, So I'm with that. It's just for me, I'm into the simplicity of it's almost fucking repetitive too, It's beat match, bass,
right.
my EQ, get my gains right.
You can always tell.
Scratch a little, and then mix, and then gain switch. It's just the same stuff over and over again, but I like super enjoy it. You know what I mean?
You can always tell when Aaron's laptop is at the club because he's the only DJ I know that uses the space bar mode when on his Serato, so he hides all the cue points and the
I love that. I love it. Fuck it.
Library. I need a bigger browser. I feel like it needs to be bigger than that.
Yeah.
I would hide those little blocks if I could.
Yeah.
Like fuck those things.
All right, Matt. How about you though? What's your tips for listeners?
Tips for listeners. I don't know.
Or tips for DJs listening.
I don't know. I need more specific, man. Help me out.
It could be. Well,
elaborate on what I said, like the fundamentals of DJing. Reading the crowd, right? Understanding when to do more of something, when to do less of something. Knowing like,
I'll tell you how I was taught. Programming number one is everything. Sure. If you're not playing the right songs, period. No matter what crowd you're playing in front of, or atmosphere or whatever. If you're not playing the right songs, you know what I mean. It doesn't matter if you're scratching or it doesn't even matter if you're mixing. If you're playing the wrong songs, you know what I mean. It's epic fail number one. So, reading the crowd, programming.
Understanding that it's okay if somebody doesn't like what you like, even though it still always makes me mad.
Oh, that's the other, I have a lot of people always ask me, they're like, you love all the songs you play or whatever. And I'm like, I probably like 25% of the stuff I play, like honestly, because you're as a DJ, you're an entertainer, you're controlling the room and the environment, and music plays a huge role, and it's a powerful thing. You guys have all been at gigs where it was like, you literally saw your programming and what you want the crowd or want the scene or whatever of the part of your event to do. And you literally saw yourself controlling it with the tracks you played.
Yes.
Like, it's crazy.
Very cool.
What would you say to a DJ? I don't want to go crazy into this because we've done it multiple times in the podcast, but I want your side of it. What would you say to a DJ that is really strict about what he plays? Like he wants to play a certain genre or a certain type of certain tracks that that he likes.
This has always been my opinion, man, and I've told every young DJ this, and I'm like, do you want to play? It's very important to decide if you really want to play only what you like and what you're passionate about as a DJ, or do you want to be able to have opportunity to make more money? I don't want to say like you don't make money playing EDM music, but you know what I mean. Like in some
it's harder.
It's harder
to only do what you want.
To only do what you want and not be open format and play.
Right. But if you're a good open format DJ, you genuinely like all music, right?
Yeah. No, I'm just saying. You got to decide. I don't know.
I know what you're saying because a lot
I
of
don't word this without it sounding bad. You know what I mean?
There's a lot more opportunity when you're playing when you're being an entertainer of all music.
When you can play open format and play it well, you have way more opportunities for gigs, make money, for exposure,
Because you become more versatile.
Exactly. Yeah, I would agree with that, and I would also say that there's a lot of electronic gigs in Columbus, more than there used to be. But at the same time, they're not always, like you said, they're not always big paying gigs.
And only
that's fine, man.
They are fun.
For a long.
I did that. You know, like I got lucky, man, in my start. I mean, I didn't start out making good money for many years. You know what I mean, into DJing, but like I got lucky to start out getting paid to play EDM. I mean, like I always played everything. It's funny. I got joked with like a sellout by some of the other vets, man, when I started doing top 40 bars. And I'm like, I've always played hip hop and bought pop and hip hop records. I just didn't have gigs that were paying me or booking me to play that stuff, you know? So like when the underground scene kind of like changed and the club scene was changed a little bit or whatever, like it was just easy to transition into playing everything.
And that also, you know, like sometimes when you go down that line of work, it does change the game where for me, like on a Saturday night where, you know, pre-COVID, like it would be my goal to work up to that 1 or 2 songs that no one has ever heard before, unless you're like into said things, right? No matter what the genre is. You know what I mean?
Oh man, I still can think of a night just walking into Novak's and Aaron's like Taylor Swift, Paula Abdul, like, and it was dope.
But maybe an hour and a half later, I could drop some unknown house tracks that I personally like, you know,
like literally dropping some of the craziest shit, quick mixing, and I like just being like, I don't know how it makes sense, but it's dope and funny, and awesome.
Well, that could be another tip for listeners, right? Is build your room. Do what you need to do to get to the tracks that you
do what you need to do.
I got it.
And then cross your fingers that your sneaker could be another silly song, right? Yeah, you know?
That's what was going to be my advice, man. Like I remember being when I was playing at Bullwinkle's, and this DJ I prefer to remain nameless.
I love this podcast, dude.
Was standing next to me. I seriously, I'm not saying his name, but standing next to me, and it was like almost 1 o'clock in the morning, and I loaded up Dancing Queen in this campus bar. Obviously, you guys know. You know what I mean? He goes, "No way, you're going to play that." And I was like, "Yeah, I'm going to play that." It was just a quick, you know, like a minute to 20 seconds of the song. You know what I mean?
The super short edit.
Yeah. Yep. The extra
the
short
full
edit.
length, and I'm only going to play 2 seconds of it.
Yeah. But he was like, "No way you're going to play that." And I dropped it, man. And the entire bar went nuts and singing it or whatever. And I just looked at him like, and he literally went, and I was like, "Yeah, man, like don't be afraid to like play something you think is absolutely ridiculous." Because
And I agree, but I'll tell you what, it sucks when it doesn't work.
Yeah, it does.
The song after that is the most crucial.
Yeah.
No matter what. Like I've been like, oh, I'm building these people up and you're doing some house music remixes, and then I lay this big old bounce style and everybody stops like
no one ever stops the big old bounce. Get out of here. Listen, I have a question for Magic.
We're not trying to do a big old bounce.
Dutch, and everyone's like, huh?
Yeah.
All right, Mike, what you got?
Magic went from having no tips to like 1 million, so that's good.
That's good. That's why we're here.
I didn't read the Google Doc well enough either. You know, I'm sorry.
No one does. I don't know why I do it. But Magic, I had a question for you. Sure. We don't have too much time left, so I want to go quickly. Magic, you retired from the bar game about a year ago. You wrote a nice Facebook post about some of your frustrations. I think a lot of the DJs, younger guys, they look at the bar industry and they think like that's the mecca for DJing. Just talk about the bar industry, maybe some concerns, some pitfalls people can run into, and why you have chosen to just do your private events now.
So I just got to a point, man. I've been doing it forever, the day job, and then DJing, sometimes 3 nights a week, 3 different bars. And I just got to the point where I was exhausted and just needed a break from the bars. I don't want to be negative, but when you've been doing it so long, you kind of get sick of the politics. You get sick of owner, you know what I mean? I might blame you for a night not being as busy, just all of that just kind of got to me. What do you want me to give tips about?
No, that's it, man. Could you talk about the politics of the bar industry a little bit? When you say the politics, what do you mean by that?
Politics and people that know the owner or just the owner in general, you know what I mean? They're opinionated, their opinions on what you should play and what you shouldn't play. And, everybody's went through that where, you had somebody you were working for that, might have been a little bit difficult. So yeah, just like little things like that, man. Kind of sometimes you see the regulars. Like, have you ever played at a bar where there was a regular, but he was a regular drunk asshole? So it's like, oh, he's a regular. It's like, yeah, my favorite regular, like stuff like that, man. Like, I've dealt with that. Obviously at the bar you deal with the requests and stuff. And like, honestly, it depends on what mood I'm in. Some nights, man, I love requests and I love trying to fit people's song in and make it work. Because when you do that, people are like, ooh, that's amazing. You know what I mean? Like, it's stuff you've been doing forever. But if you can mix someone's song, make it work into your mix, into your flow, people like appreciate it. And then there's some nights where you're just like, I just want to play. I just want to like do me and not take requests. You know what I mean? So like you have that. It's the negative and positive, man. Just depends on the night and the mood you're in. What else, Aaron?
No, I actually had a different question for Aaron. So Aaron, you've been at Brothers forever. Maybe you could share your experience, like, being with a single company for so long and what have you done to make that work?
Well, I work at 2 different places. So shout out to Novak's and Brothers. And that's where I'd first lead in is, a while ago, somebody gave us advice that was like, man, it's hard to work at the same place 2 nights in a row. And we could all attest for that.
That's a good one.
Absolutely.
And so try, if you can, spread yourself out. And it is much easier. Every whatever your night is, you're different, even if it's just slightly from whoever's on the other nights, right? And that can work out for everyone involved. Everyone can be their slight little breath of fresh air, right? So then moving on from that, like, how do you keep a gig? I think it's simple. You just try. Like, you go in there and you try to do your job, and you try to have that right blend of a little bit of partying and a little bit of business and a little bit of customer service on both ends.
Yeah, what we've always said to people, like, make sure you like tip your bartenders that take care of you and all that, because they're the ones that talk about you the most in the bars. Depending, you know what I mean? But, yeah.
I work at a big.
I was hoping you guys talk about that.
What?
I said I was hoping you guys would talk about that. Is like, yeah, you're playing for the crowd, but there's also the staff who has to hear you every Friday, every Saturday, whatever it is.
Right.
I've always said, like,
it's
Saturday,
fun playing for them.
The first most important people, man, really are the staff, dude.
No, I agree.
Promoters.
If they don't like you, then they're bitching to the manager that that they don't like you. So if you get them if you get the staff liking you, you take care of them, they'll take care of you. Take their requests. Yeah, play songs they like, and what I mean. Like, it's just good customer service, man.
And that's anywhere you work.
Yeah, that's anywhere you work.
So, going back to what Matt said about the politics of bars, it seems like what I've learned is that a lot of the bars have their own idea of what they want in a DJ. A lot of the younger DJs, I don't want to say they taken advantage of, but they're not aware of how a certain bar or company operates or what they're looking for in a DJ. So they might come in, play for a low rate, but then they're wondering why they're stuck there because
I know old people.
Well, first of all, you're not well, look, so like you guys, if you want a good DJ like Matt Majik and Duct Tape, then you have to pay this, right? And some bars want like a DJ that promotes, and maybe they're not as much concerned about the quality of mixing or the so every single spot is different, and I could understand your frustration with that, Matt, because I think maybe it would have been different too when Park Street.
Oh man, I just been doing it so long. I just needed a break, man. So that's what I did, and took some time off, and then started working at before COVID or whatever, the new 40 Deuce at Easton and Trism on Saturdays. But right
Another
now
question
I'm playing,
for you guys.
in my basement.
Another question for you guys. You've both participated in and won DJ battles. You're both really accomplished turntablists. I just wanted to know, like, what was your favorite battle? And then maybe for people who are trying to get into like the Red Bull 3 style or local battles, do you have any tips for them?
Man, I appreciate you being kind.
We both have one.
There y'all's excellent turntablists around the world.
Listen, dude.
Like, what?
International superstars.
Yeah, like,
Y'all are like y'all ever watch the Muppets and they have those two guys in the balcony?
Yes.
That's exactly who these two are.
Wait, is that the old guys? Old guys?
Yeah.
Yes.
No, seriously. What was your favorite battle and
they all sucked.
Wow.
Battles are so stressful, dude.
I mean,
like,
come on, Mike. Yeah, act like you ain't called me.
What's
Like,
stressful about it? The preparation or the actual?
everything, man. The preparation, the thinking and thought process putting into a set, man.
It's
Like it's awful. Like trying to like, you know, take some things tricks you already do, but then combine them with other things and make it smooth.
Yeah.
You know, like you're telling a story. It's a pain.
Well,
and nobody throws real battles anymore. They're all just gimmicks to try and bring business to a bar.
Yeah.
At a DJ's expense.
right.
You know.
Well, you got people like Bombay that are extremely good at it and do all the preparation, but Bombay would say the same thing maybe about like a club set that you guys prefer, right? So like he prefers that. He prefers battle and
actually different
juggling.
from Bombay, because once he does develop those routines, he kind of uses them, you know, repetitively.
Right.
And not saying he doesn't come up with new routines, but that's the thing about routines. So shout out to Eric, DJ Snipes. But Eric's a prime example. Eric's loaded with, you know, songs that go well together back to back. Maybe playing the 70s version that it was sampled on before he plays the newer, you know, rapper version, right? But at the end of the day, you know, he's only got so many combos. He seems
Right.
like a lot.
Going to my combo crate.
You know, so like battle DJing, like in Bombay's sense, is very much like that. You know, those cats. I'm like, Mike, why are you changing your battle set from, you know, battle to battle when Mike goes to the Bring My Bar Business battles? But and not saying some are legit, like those $5,000 ones. Yeah, that's a little something. But
Yeah.
it's a lot of work, and you know, people like
especially multiple night, man. Oh, like you got to come up with 2 sets or 3 sets.
Yeah,
like,
whoever won the 2006 DMC World Finals took that same set, maybe tweaked a little bit, you know, from, you know, city to state to regionals or however it works, you know, to
Right.
nationals to world finals, right? And the meat and potatoes are the same.
Bombay be the first to tell you too. He's like, I don't want to play a club set.
Yeah.
Like I don't, you know what I mean?
Right. Yeah.
I've
That's
had
what
him come out. He came out with me and played with me last year when I did Granero for a short period of time. And, like he came out, not many people came in, and he came out. So we just messed around, and so we were playing like some dope reggae and like a bunch of indie stuff, like, and that was fun. You know what I mean? And he was
Right.
actually like mixing, you know what I mean? But he was, you know, cutting and doing his thing.
Yeah, we had him at Sway one time, and I was actually impressed with the way he still implemented his juggling and scratching, but was able to play like he would throw in All I Do Is Win, T-Pain, and stuff, and was able to keep what we had in there. So that's
He
cool.
DJ'd at Frogberry. He did really well playing.
20 to 30
That's
minutes.
right,
is
yeah.
what
It wasn't
I'm
like-
fine.
That's right, he did.
Yeah, like it's nothing he ain't done before though.
No,
Yeah.
he just doesn't. He
just doesn't enjoy it.
He just doesn't enjoy
Exactly.
But we do the same thing, you know. It's not like act like our meat and potatoes changes every fucking night. You know what I mean? You play the majority, you know, at least probably 50% can be similar, you know, if not at a different time. Unless I'm wrong, if you guys are playing 80% new music every 3 nights a week.
No way.
Way.
My situation at Dahlia is different because Dahlia is EDM is Friday and then Saturday's open format. So playing the same venue is different there.
You play strictly EDM on Fridays?
Every show is different. It's usually our show night, and if we don't have a show night, they let me just play
Whatever.
open format favored EDM, I guess.
I got you.
That makes sense.
So like
you're still
like EDM remix.
Yeah, you know, Joe Maz and that type of stuff.
All right, guys. Where can people find you on the internet?
I'm not on the internet.
You are on the internet.
What is the internet?
I tagged you.
Trying to not be. You can find Matt.
Sorry, man.
At his home address, 1370. No, I'm joking. 1377 Gilmore Way.
How about this? Is there any like YouTube videos that you guys plan, any shows or recaps or anything that people can find, or you know what I'm talking about?
There's some random things on YouTube, I think. If you search my name, it's been a while since I've looked.
I made a video on how to modify that CD player to help other people.
There you go.
Modifying that CD player.
That's our technician right here. So I think, Mike, we need to, first of all, we need to attach the break beats mix to the podcast when we release this.
No, it's a good one. It's a good listen, man. Like, it's just a good mix to listen. Like, I've listened to it over and over again, man. Like,
it'll make you speed.
Yeah.
It definitely will make you speed. I've like when I need to stay, if I'm like driving back from Cleveland after a gig, I'll usually throw that one on because it's nice and high energy. I'm not gonna fall asleep.
I put it on when I need some energy too. I'm like,
There's no backstory. That came out of thin air.
Yeah.
That came out of buying a lot of cool break beats off of Beatport.
I think Mike asked me about that forever ago. Like, man, you guys must have like really sat down and like, you know, got one with the earth when you put together. I was like, nah, man. Actually, Aaron was like, hey, got these sweet tracks, and I was like, hey, these are sweet. Let's make a mix.
Yeah.
I'll let the people watch and judge. It's a fantastic mixtape. The cuts are solid. It's well built. It's paced well. These guys are downplaying themselves, and I know it didn't come out of thin air as much as they want you guys to believe that. But I want to move on to the 6/14 releases. We had a couple this week. We had one, Fallin, from Fear and Lowe, is out on Obvious Records. Actually, that'll be out on July 16th, so we'll probably talk about that next week as well. And then You've Got Me by Entel. Entel's been releasing tracks almost weekly. He took a week off last week, but he released You've Got Me this week, and it's been putting out some great stuff. So make sure you check them out, and also check out at 614. They're doing everything as far as, you know, Columbus-based apparel.
They just released a bunch of new stuff too on their Instagram. If you're looking for new stuff, they like a lot of new shirt designs and stuff. So,
yep. But we appreciate having them as a partner here. And then James, I want to ask you: is there anything else you want to talk about with these guys before we wrap it up?
Dude, I'm just very appreciative of what you guys have done for the industry. I know you guys are very humble, but you've done a lot for the DJ scene. You started a lot for all these younger DJs who might not even know who you guys are, but I'll never forget seeing you in Backroom of Spice, Backroom of Sugar, Front Rooms, all those spots, dude, and just learning. And yeah, man, it's been.
Hey, wait, real quick. I just came across a funny picture you took, James.
Okay.
From Back of Spice when I was mopping up the air conditioning flood on the floor.
Hold on.
It was a post from like Facebook, man, from forever ago, and it says Matt Magic's mopping his dance floor.
Dude, yeah, I remember that. I remember.
It
was a weird leak, and we're just like, nobody's fixing this. We need to get to work on this. I love those little parties we threw back there, man. And then obviously we did some gigs together, which was a huge thing for me at the time. And New Year's Eve.
Like that was kind of your like opener into Columbus.
Right. I remember Blue Bunny back there in the Back Room of Sugar doing some stuff too. But that New Year's Eve party we all did was memorable for me at the Renaissance. That was something I'll never forget.
It's on audio.
Oh God, Halloween.
Yeah, Halloween too at the Hyatt. We did that.
Oh, the Hyatt. Wait, he's talking about.
We did a New Year's Eve thing together, and it was packed. It was so much fun.
That's the New Year's Eve thing that I still do every year at the Renaissance, but the promoter that I do it with joined with CGS that year.
Oh, okay.
They had that multiple room, wasn't it, right?
Yeah. There was a band and then the DJ room.
Oh, that was fun. I enjoyed
it was a good time.
No, I'm talking about, remember Halloween? And we were all just a shit show. Like, we all blacked out.
Yes, that was, dude.
We had this mix, man.
Living our best life, man.
We had this mix. We recorded it, and all of us got on the mic and said the most ridiculous things. And like,
Gonzo was with us too, right?
Yep.
I think. Yep. That was a good time.
You and Gonzo.
Are we allowed to ask you guys questions?
Yeah, man. What do you want to ask? I got about 8 minutes.
James?
Yeah.
Is there somebody sleeping in the hallway behind that door?
No.
Listen, man, my business is my. No, I'm just kidding. It's my cat. It's literally my cat.
No, I mean the door behind you.
That's the door out, bro.
Oh, listen, man, I've changed my ways. I live by myself. Nobody's allowed over in my house. It's COVID-19 time. Social distancing.
COVID-19 time.
Have you guys made sure you've taken time off of work and enjoyed you're not.
I enjoy my work, duct tape.
Oh my gosh.
No, like, have you guys like enjoyed your time off at all?
Or have you made more damn quick hitters the whole time?
I don't.
Listen,
in other words, spend time with
y'all are the edit. Y'all are the edit dudes. I like the originals or Joe Ma's remixes. That's it.
I've definitely started balancing things a lot more than I used to. Actually, it's been like that for a while for me. There's a lot of other interests I have, and I know how long it takes to get things done now, how long it takes to prepare. Promotion is completely different for shows now, so like I'm able to really do things without any stress, and I'm thankful for that. I know it's not always the case for a lot of DJs, so I appreciate you asking. But this has been a weird time, man. This has been a very frustrating. This whole pandemic has really crushed our industry, man. I mean, I just talked to I'm with Scam Artist and Sujit, the guy that runs the entire thing. I mean, Dahlia and a lot of Columbus bars are some of the only bars open in the entire nation right now. And that's what's so crazy is, Columbus is ahead of the curve right now. I guess Cleveland is open too, forward and stuff, but just thankful to be able to DJ right now when most DJs can't. So,
and that's kind of reverse of my point. Did you take the break you had to, like you were given a break whether you wanted it or not? Maybe you did have to worry about money or your gig, but get it? You didn't lose the gig and somebody undercut you, or you didn't get too drunk and you got fired, right? We were all on break at the same time. Did you use that time to like do other shit other than DJing and relax?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's what I think is important about all.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely. All of the first half of this, March and April, I was going golfing and hanging out with Rusty and tried to keep it limited to how many people we were hanging out with. But Mike and I started this podcast to keep in touch with everyone because, everybody was staying at home. So this is one of the best ideas. Mike had me come in and do a co-host, and now we get to reconnect with people like you. And
no, I love the Columbus DJ podcast.
Okay, cool.
Dude, I really love talking to you guys, but I also love picking the brains of these.
What did you guys say?
We're talking. Don't worry about it. What'd you say, James?
No, I was just saying I like having you guys on and the other veterans, but I like picking the brains of these younger DJs. Probably how you guys did with me. It's very interesting to hear their philosophies of
different, like music's different. Everything's different for those cats. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Mike, have you done any mobile stuff during any of this?
I saw Mike at his first gig back.
Mm-hmm.
Masha complimented you.
Oh, really? That's good. I'm glad I have her approval. I noticed you did not compliment me.
Where was that?
Yeah.
Vaso.
Yeah, I've really enjoyed DJing at Vaso. That's been probably my favorite place to spin. I got to spin at Dahlia. It was a stressful experience, but it was awesome. It was a great party. And then I'm actually at an event right now. These seniors didn't get to have a prom, so one of the dads who I've known through the wedding business is throwing them a prom in the backyard. It's actually pretty dope, honestly. It's the setup, so I'll be doing that right after this.
That's sweet.
Mm-hmm.
I told my oldest, man, like, hey, like, tell your school if they want to do like a makeup homecoming or whatever. I'll do it for free. You know what I mean? I felt bad for the kids this year, man. I got, especially the seniors, man, college and high school, just got cheated, man.
But to answer Duct Tape's question, man, I didn't really take a break. I just found different ways. So I'm not DJing as much anymore. So, I tried to get my hand into streaming. The podcast is an idea. Organizing crates, just getting ready for when I come back. Why you ask, man? No, so we're getting ready for when I come back, and then
said, "See, I knew you couldn't let it down."
No, I love it. Like I'll be real with you guys. I'm afraid for what could happen in the next few months or the next year if DJing doesn't exist. Like James is saying, in other cities, the DJs are in a way worse spot than we are. You know, I'm lucky to
all
have
that practice is going down the tubes.
Exactly, man.
Not lying. We tried to have music. We tried to have the music days, but I think it's important. Like, you know, what we were talking about.
I need to try and do a live stream, I guess, man. Like, I've had some people ask me to do it or whatever.
Dude, yeah.
I gotta research it because, like, I'm not like the most technical equipped person or whatever when it comes to camera work and lighting and all that stuff. I'm not big dog Mike Stallone over here.
Aren't you sitting next to like a video producer? Isn't that who he does for his full-time job?
He ain't got time for that stuff, man.
And we're doing floors, so all the shit's crammed into a room.
We're doing floors.
Our background.
No, but hey, I have it on record that's the last project. That's it.
Yeah.
And then you got time to produce Matt's
baby.
Yeah, that's a whole nother project.
That is project at least for 18 years.
Well, I'll ask you again. Well, yeah. Do you guys? I might have one more question.
Shout out to B-Rob.
We're not done questioning you. When's your baby coming, Mike?
Yeah, Mike.
Never.
James already answered.
See, hiding that baby bump.
It ain't coming, dog.
Ooh, one of those kicks, he's gonna be a soccer player.
Nah.
Was it in the cards?
This is not gonna happen, dude.
No? Are you still living with you know who?
You're never gonna procreate, Mike?
I'm never going to procreate.
Well, what about with your roommate?
Not even with my roommate.
Is he still your roommate?
Oh my god!
No, we actually are. For the first year in 13 years, I am no longer living with Adam Caverman.
Oh really?
I wasn't gonna name his name.
Yeah, he's watching the podcast. He's a DJ too.
You watching?
Yeah.
Yeah, man. We have now official. Well, it's technically not official. The official move out date is July 20th, but we both haven't.
So you still live together.
Congratulations.
You still live together, yeah.
Technically, we don't live in the place where we.
You don't live.
All right.
Well, the move out date is.
All right, Mike. You got your gig, bro.
Yep. We're going to wrap it up, guys. You know, a lot of jokes thrown around, but you guys know how much respect I have for both of you. You know, definitely taught me, definitely taught James, definitely like, you know, not even just the DJing side, like talking business. I was trying to get Matt to talk about it earlier, but just how to talk to bar owners about, you know, the money you make and how to deal with other DJs maybe trying to undercut.
Why didn't you just tell me that, man?
Because, man, I don't want to guide you too much. It's all good. You guys gave us great responses. But thank you for all that you guys have done for the DJ community, and wish you guys both the best.
Baby's got to hurry up, man, and give him a snack.
Oh man!
All right, we expect better magic tricks next time, but
that's true. That's accurate. Do the one where you throw it through the door.
If I'm prepared, I can do some like visual stuff where I don't have to like need an audience.
Yeah, if only someone would have sent you a document listing all the things we were going to talk about on Tuesday.
Mike, next time you know
better. Did it say
better.
on there? Did it really say on there, do magic?
Yes!
Yeah, dude.
Like Aaron said, like 5
Right, it's all good. This was very successful.
We're going to keep this going. We may have you guys back. You know, we got to have Masha back, and I'm sure she'll do it at Duct Tape's house. Magic, you can come over.
That's your opportunity to do magic on Masha.
We'll give you 2 months notice.
Hey, and next time instead of a doc, make a video.
But yeah, guys, thank you guys so much for being on here and busting our chops a little bit.
Congrats, Duct Tape. You guys stay safe.
Good to see you, man.
Peace.
Love you guys.
Bye, guys.